Ersgard here, and it's time to talk about more Lord of Mysteries. And this episode feels like a very nice setup and build up for something to come. And I'm getting very suspicious of our nice, fun, charming old Neil. After this episode, I don't know where to place him, what happened here, but he just got very suspicious. Now we also get a lot more world building with so many secret organizations. Like there's like 100 of them. We get some of them in this episode. We got some throughout the series so far. It feels like everything has a secret organization in this series. It's gonna be insane to keep track of all of them, and I'm really liking Klein. He's growing a lot more on me with the characterization and spending time with him, especially the inner monologues, going through things and trying to figure out other things. And Azik, again, so far still my favorite character, but let's get into the episode and talk about it. Now, it starts with Klein going through his inner monologue, trying to look for leads, the location of this mastermind after he got the divination of the last episode here, and he wants to make some charms with the eternal blazing sun amulet or medallion, however you want to call it. But I liked, probably my favorite part there at the start of the episode was just spending time with Azik, like actual character interactions, spending time together, building up the relationship, the dynamic between them. Fishing under a bridge there with Azik, and Azik telling him, "Hey, slow down, don't overthink things." I'm paraphrasing a bit, of course, here. And Klein gets a brilliant idea, wants some help from Azik, and I like how Azik was willing to help instantly. And we figure out throughout the episode what that plan was. He kind of plays everybody off against each other a bit with a incident, so to say, just to get more access to the Eternal Blazing Sun medallion there to make his charms. It works, but there's a bigger complication with this one, what's happening. But before we get into that, we also have our Grey Fog meeting, and apparently Roselle had this unnamed island. They got one more page here, but of course they need more. I like how Audrey's like, I couldn't get any more, I still need more information, maybe Algier can help, but he wants money, like a lot of money, £1,000, and even Clyde was shocked at that big sum, and I think like he was asking for a lot there, Alger. He didn't expect to actually get it, and Audrey's just like, yeah, that sounds good, let's do it. She instantly accepts. How fucking rich is she? Like we knew she's a noble or something from the last few episodes. We got that small scene with her dancing there, servants all over the place with the dog there starting to speak, but it feels more like royalty right now. How rich is she? Don't answer, don't go into spoilers, but damn, she was willing, like, yeah, let's do it, I don't care about money. And even Alger being shocked, they're like swallowing a bit. Okay, I didn't expect this to work, but sure, maybe should have asked for more. There, but after this we get some world building. Apparently there's like 100 secret organizations, secret order, and Demoness, Aurora Order, everything that we've got so far. The Nighthawks are also technically an organization, not so secret, but still there's so many of them. But the curious one that got a lot of emphasis in this episode was the Moses Ascetic, I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name, Order, and they have the Mystery Prior pathway, Neil's pathway. They worship knowledge, and their god is the Hidden Sage, but apparently kind of fallen from grace, and this is where it's dangerous. I really like how much emphasis they put on the danger and what it means for knowledge. And when they said knowledge becoming alive there, and the Hidden Sage kind of a personification of an evil god. So yeah, that's a very interesting concept, because what I highly recommend for something that handles some subject related to this, I highly recommend Orb on the Movements of the Earth, the anime series. You can kind of see the both extremes of knowledge, trying to stifle it, to keeping under wraps, to control it, and having it free, unrestrained, ends justify. That means you see the two extremes and what it means. A middle ground is the best thing, but I'm not gonna go into spoilers with Orb. But if you like something with knowledge, a lot more focused on that concept itself, highly recommend that series. But here they made this organization and this god or fallen god, however you want to call him, the hidden sage, quite interesting here. But also the Numinos Episcopate, again, sorry if I'm butchering names, they worship death, and they possibly have a link to Azik there, so that's something to keep in mind. You're gonna need to take notes, honestly, for this series, if you keep getting all of the 100 or maybe 100 plus secret organizations that are in this world here. But Azik and his past also being connected here, and I like how Klein is slowly helping find out what happened with the skull of his son, even especially towards the end of the episode, and Azik also helping him. Feels like the best bro to have on your side there. And after that, having that small moment running into Benson and Melissa having to explain the gun away. But here, after he runs with after the paperboy getting the article that there's this incident at the docks and the worshippers of the Evernight goddess are being attacked. They're not dangerously attacked, but attacked in a way. And this is everything has been set up by Klein with the help of Azik to start the motions to get access to the Eternal Blazing Sun there. And we meet one of the... Well, we formally meet him because we saw him a bit in a glimpse in the past. Neil and Havre spending time there with him. Sailor Pathway Sequence 8 Folk of Rage. He's a mandated Punisher there, and they start talking a bit about the incident, the effects between the organizations, the people, and so on. Of course, they don't know Klein is doing this. I'm curious if Dan finds out what would he do to Klein if he figures out he was behind all of this. But speaking of Dan, he assigns Neil to the dock incident, but Klein, of course, offers his services, being willing to step in for this situation. But Neil still gets involved after Dan says, hey, the people over 50 get a pay raise if they do this. But speaking of Neil, they're gonna go investigate this, but while they were at the bar there spending time together, this is where I got suspicious. I feel like he did something to the bottle of Havre, that liquor bottle, the alcohol bottle that you carry with you. Maybe I'm reading too much into things, but I have a feeling he touched it. He did something to it there. But by his reaction towards the end of the episode, I'm not sure, but still something to keep in mind. So he got more and more suspicious as the episode went on and on there. But yeah, after this, when they go to investigate... spirit bodies there, and him trying to get the mutated secret, the emblem there, he can't use it. Neil Dan saying, yeah, you can't use it, even though it suits this, is gonna put civilians in danger, making them Praising Sun idiots there. But Klein pushes for it. They agree. Leonard has it now in control, and he kind of plays off a bit with Klein, saying, yeah, I know you pushed for this, just trying to get my secrets. Klein inner monologue, no dude, it's not about you, stop being self-absorbed narcissistic. But hey, Leonard is still a suspicious character. He has his secrets, we've saw it for the past episodes. There's always something about Leonard and him knowing something about Klein, so another character to keep our eyes on. But the most suspicious character this episode was Neil there. But here we have the crowd looking at them, gossiping, going at the docks for the incident. And I like how Leonard starts putting in a show to please the crowd, to help them calm a bit, to show their professional. And this scene reminded me, the entire dock incident reminded me a bit of mission in Baldur's Gate 3. If you haven't played the game, I highly recommend it. Just took me there to say the least for that. But after this, they go inside and the spirits start attacking, more like playing with their food in a way, because they attack, they go through people there, they scare them, the crowd runs away, but it's not actually dangerous, not killing them, wounding them, so on, just kind of turning them into dogs. One guy randomly started becoming a ballerina. They're dancing because why not? So yes, this is not dangerous, just Azik doing this, but somehow Klein was able to talk to one of the ghosts there. I don't know fully how, maybe it was connected to Azik, maybe Azik gave him a bit of control or communication with the ghosts. I don't know, but again, it's not dangerous for anybody being involved here. The amulet activates a bit, they clean up, even Klein telling them to release the people under the control there from the ghost, and Leonard volunteers Klein and Neil, of course, to put on an exorcism show to please the crowd, to show they did the deed, so to say, the exorcism to clean the spirits there. But after this, we have one carriage out of control and almost runs off the woman that was pregnant with Lanevus's baby there. I'm like, that's a coincidence, but if you remember last episode, there's no coincidence. And the next scene that follows right after that, we have Havre revealing his mission is to follow and find Lanevus to see if Beyonder was involved, or was it just a simple scam for the money. But we know from last episode that yeah, that guy has a lot more explaining to do, considering what he was doing last episode with human sacrifices and that ritual there. But here is where Neil again gets more suspicious. He finds out Havre's mission. Did he set up the coincidence to happen there? I don't know, but again, more suspicious on Neil. But even more when it's revealed that Neil and Havre are really good friends. You're part of this group of friends. Celeste, also his wife, was part of that, but unfortunately she died, and pretty much everybody else in the group besides Neil and Havre died. So he feels a bit lonely, nostalgic, introspective, and so on. I liked finding out more about characters and seeing Neil always being this happy-go-lucky old guy, always playful and so on. Seeing him a bit more serious felt nice, giving more characterization to him there and his group of friends and his connection to Havre, which made him even more suspicious after that. But they're always putting emphasis on the symbols that we saw at the docks. It reminded me a bit of the one that doll had on the Chinese gate. It's not the same one, if I'm not mistaken. There, it's similar to that one, or maybe there are more symbols. I'm sure if you go frame by frame and analyze everything, compare the symbols there, there's probably one that was the same. I don't know, but that symbol, the doll, left to a client something to keep in mind. Also, there's a lot of symbols, a lot of secret organizations. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see for that one when we get the payoff there. But after this, we have the divination that Klein was doing to see the cause of the docks incident. That's kind of funny. It's like a company investigating themselves to see if they fucked up everything. So yeah, you're looking into yourself to see if you've made a mistake without everybody else knowing, or if you were involved. Yeah, I'm gonna investigate myself. No, I'm innocent. I know there's nothing. Yeah. that was funny. But like how Klein saying he can't see anything, saying Azik is too high of a status above him in power, but he still sees that inverted pyramid, and thanks to that he had some information from the others. Apparently it's related to the worshippers of death, who also got it at the start with the secret organizations, and maybe related to the Pale disaster, and that's probably related to Azik's past. Maybe that's when he woke up with surrounded by bodies being hunted there that we saw here. So thanks to this, the relation also helps maybe lead to Azik's son, the skull at least. They're finding out who was involved in that, and I like everything kind of being connected. Last episode put a lot of emphasis on that there. But thanks to this, Klein has the emblem now, and starts with a very expensive ritual to make those charms with the eternal blazing sun and flaring sun charms. He makes two of them. they're good, but they're a trump card, so he's gonna have to choose when to actually use them. But here is where the action kind of starts. At first I thought the way they're showing the camera, I thought, was it him responsible doing the ritual? Did it evoke something in the abyss, in the water there? Did it summon something? You saw flickers, like even the sun kind of flickered a bit. Even Leonard caught that one while Klein was doing the ritual, but no, it feels like there's something more. Then after that I thought, was it the ritual, it affected somebody else, him doing those, like a sacrifice, a price to play? He wasn't the one that was gonna pay the price for those two charms being created. But after this I changed my train of thought, considering how the episode ended and the reveal, and then what I saw with maybe Neil touching that bottle. But I'm getting off track a bit. We see this fishman monster going on the attack there, and yeah, is able to stop bullets on Klein's shot, kind of melting on its skin there, and Beyonder losing control. And I like how much emphasis they put in this episode, how dangerous it is for a Beyonder to lose control, a lot more than they did in previous episodes. Like, yes, it's dangerous, it's bad and so on, but this one felt a bit more heavy, so to say. And I like how Leonard instantly coming in to fight, and then he really can fight a lot of has moves like a sort of teleport in a way, kind of shifting his essence in a way, how he was there. And Klein helps with that chain, but he kind of starts being flung around there. In the end it works out because he ends up saving Leonard in a way with bumping into the Beyonder there. So Klein can sort of kind of somehow fight, quotation marks. But you can slowly figure out, if you pay attention, it feels like that is Havre, the one that lost control. By the way, he even looked at Neil having that reaction there, and slowly more the reveal here. And yeah, Neil puts the Beyonder to sleep after they fight it there, and it's revealed it's Havre. I'm like, damn, okay, so Neil, what did you do with that bottle? Here is where I went full suspicious mode. Even though it hit him quite hard, or at least, I don't know if he was acting, I have no idea. He felt bad realizing it was his friends. He even offers to put him out of his misery there, because beyond saving, even Leonard saying he lost fully control, there's no way to save him there. So now Neil lost the last connection to his group of friends, or was he sacrificing them for something else? Is he the mastermind? Is he working for the mastermind behind all of this? I have no idea what Neil is doing, or at least it seems that he's doing. But I'm very suspicious of Neil right now. And when they go at his home, it's very, very depressing home, and has mementos from all of his friends, group of friends there. He even kept the bottle from Havre there, and yeah, that's a dark, gloomy room that Neil has there. But yeah, I don't know, did Neil kill all of his friends? Is he playing like, yeah, I'm so sad? I have no idea, honestly, but gotta keep our eyes on Neil here. And Klein trying to figure out, why did Havre suddenly transform? And my answer to this is probably what Neil did to the bottle. That's where it goes. Maybe it's a red herring, I have no idea, but that's what I'm thinking, because really showed that bottle there, but we'll see. And Klein here really feeling the dangers of Beyonders losing control, and kind of figuring or thinking maybe the solution to this is, the stronger you are, the more you advance in Beyonder power sequence, the lower the chances are of you losing control. Is he right? Probably, I'm not sure, but at least it pushes him to finally go after the clown potion there. We're maybe finally gonna have him do that, since last episode he fully digested the seer potion. But yeah, quite interesting episode. It's always the butler, so to say. I'm very suspicious of Neil. I could be fully wrong of this. I'm liking the relationship between Isaac and Klein. Klein getting a lot more characterization with those inner monologues, inner thoughts. I'm liking. I would like to see more of that. And this episode is building to something interesting here. Not just the main arc Larry feels right now, but also all of the smaller arcs with Lanevus, the secret organizations, Audrey being rich as fuck, more Roselle journals with that unnamed island. So a lot of crumbs being with this episode. It feels like in a way the series is getting into its groove. It's not fully there, so to say. I'm curious how it's going to end up. I know season 2 and 3 probably are going to happen there, but we're gonna have to wait and see how this season 1 ends. And I'm still thinking maybe I'm gonna do a rewatch when the dub is fully over to see how the difference is between the two, and we're gonna talk more about the series overall when we get to the last episode. But yeah, this was an interesting episode to say the least. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about it, both source material readers and donga/anime only, and please don't go into spoilers. I would highly appreciate that. Thank you. And as always, remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Lord of Mysteries. I'm gonna see you again on the next one. Bye bye.